At no time did they have security. And even yourself, I mean, you're an entertainer. You are a celebrity, right? And so there are certain expectations that you have going into a facility, a nightclub, somewhere where you're invited. They're aware that you're coming.
Willie D Live.
That happens at a number of nightclubs across the United States of America every single night.
Yes.
They hire these guys who are supposed to be security, right?
Yeah.
These bouncers and things of that nature. And some of those places, the fights happen so frequently, it becomes like part of their routine. It's like, okay, we're going to have X amount of fights tonight. We're going to need X amount of people because this size crowd that we have. If the club says, look, we hired security, we got security, we have bouncers, and, we can't stop these people from shooting each other every weekend. Because there are some clubs out there where people get shot every weekend. and the clubs are still open. And I know it was like that when I was coming up in the clubs.
Right.
So how do you as a lawyer plead your case to a judge or to a jury that there's some negligence involved here?
Gotcha. So that kind of goes back to the question you had asked earlier, the prosecutorial discretion as far as which cases to take, which cases we believe will be successful, and which cases will most likely be unsuccessful. And even though it's unfortunate, you're saying that there are multiple people that have gotten shot and killed on certain premises. All of them are not going to be liable, right? There are going to be some that take these reasonable steps, that go get off-duty officers, that have the video cameras, that have people in place. There's what we're doing and what the law does is hold people to a certain standard. They say you have a duty, if you are aware of these dangers, to make sure you're mitigating your risks. We understand you cannot stop them all. You can't make sure that nothing happens. And that's an impossible standard to hold anybody to, even a company. So we're not going to go after the ones who are at least reaching that standard and saying, okay, we understand we have these bouncers, but now we've got an off-duty officers. In the meantime, they're able to arrest people. They're able to call into the DA's office and accept charges. They can go a step further than the typical bouncers. They have the security cameras in place. If they're doing everything that they're supposed to do under the law, and then something ends up happening ancillary to that, there's only so much that they're capable of doing. And those are the type of companies that we wouldn't necessarily go after. It's the ones that are falling so far below the standard of care. So multiple people are getting shot, but you still have no security guards at all, not even an off-duty security guard. You have no video camera. You don't have coverage that can cover all parts of your parking lot. At no point in time do you have an individual that even drives around the parking lot or even stops in the store to check on the customers or see what's going on. Those are the type of companies that we are going after, and those are the ones that will be held responsible.
With how many security personnel did they have at the bowling alley the night Takeoff was killed?
None.
Zero.
Not one.
At no point of the night? Was
None.
That
not one.
They didn't have somebody there at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7
No.
and they had to go home at some point?
Not one. And so, again, this is public information. Obviously, there's only so much I can go into because it's ongoing litigation that we're involved in. But even from the public filings that you saw, that you can take a look at, that we filed a petition, the lawsuit against the bowling alley and the subsequent owners, at no time did they have security. And even yourself, I mean, you're an entertainer. You are a celebrity, right? And so there are certain expectations that you have going into a facility, a nightclub, somewhere where you're invited. They're aware that you're coming, and they understand that level of care that you have to take when you have a celebrity in your presence and on your premises. How do we keep them safe? What do we need to do? So let's say they would have had security. Like typically, let's say they would have 2 security guards. If you know a celebrity's coming and we can prove that you knew that somebody with a celebrity status was coming, you have a duty to make sure that you have enough security. You might have to go above and beyond the ordinary night to make sure that these individuals are safe and that they're accounted for. And we know you can't stop everything, but you have to make reasonable steps to make sure that they are safe.